This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Extra tight security after double murder. A 48-hour curfew was declared in sections of the St. Andrew South Police Division following a shooting incident on Crescent Road Friday morning, which left 2 men dead and another nurse in gunshot wounds in hospital. By Friday evening, there was a heavy police and military presence on Crescent Road and the nearby areas as the security forces carried out a cordoning and search operations with the help of sniffer dogs. Deputy Superintendent of Police Coleridge Minto of the St. Andrew South Operations Branch issued an appeal to residents to come forward with information that could lead to the breakthrough into Friday's double murder. The boundaries of the curfew that was effected at 6 p.m. on Friday are north along Waltham Park Road from Brotherton Avenue to Crescent Road, east along Crescent Road from Waltham Park Road to Spanish Town Road, south along Spanish Town Road from Crescent to Brotherton Avenue, and west along Brotherton Avenue from Spanish Town Road to Waltham Park Road. According to Minto, special emphasis will be placed in these communities, particularly Crescent Road, to cauterize the escalation of murders and the shootings and the violent crimes. This move is also designed to apprehend wanted people and to seize illegal weapons in this area. We will be carrying out joint police and military operational activities, and we are appealing to the citizens to cooperate with the security forces and also to provide whatever information they may have on the incident that took place where 2 persons would have lost their lives, Minto said. The deputy superintendent told the news that Crescent Road came on the police's radar over a week ago following a murder and alluded that there has been ongoing gang conflict in the space then. We have had some increased presence since then. We continue to treat with a gang conflict between several warring factions in and around this area. One of the persons who was murdered Friday, we were told that he is not from this space. There is a multi-agency approach being taken. Major Investigations Division is investigating this issue, and we are talking to our counterparts in another neighboring division and trying to put all the pieces together as we try and treat with this murder. Meanwhile, residents told the news they were happy with the increased police presence, although their movement will be restricted. "Me rather the police them there more than the gunman them," one woman said. Another woman said, "At least me can sleep at my gate now or sleep with my door open. Me always rather the police them than the gunman." One man who was pleased to see the police dogs said, "I am glad the security forces mean business. See that them sent for dog." AAJ undertaking security review following massive cocaine bust at Fleming Airport. The Airports Authority of Jamaica, operator of the Fleming International Airport in Boscobel, St. Mary, is to undertake a security review arising from the major cocaine bust at the facility. On Friday, personnel from the Narcotics Division and the Counter-Terrorism and Organized Crime Division carried out targeted operations at the airport and seized 10 bags containing a total of just over 1,100 pounds of cocaine. The police say the cocaine has a street value of US $25 million or Jamaican $3.7 billion. No one was arrested during the operations, with the investigation ongoing. Deputy Commissioner of Police Fitz Bailey told the news that local lawmen worked in conjunction with a drug enforcement agency in the United States and the Canadian law enforcement to conduct the operations. He declined to comment further. Contact about the issue, Audley Diedrich, AAJ President and the Chief Executive Officer, stressed that the airport operates at international security standards. Despite this, he said, the drug bust has prompted the agency to take a closer look at the security at the airport. Diedrich said as an international airport, the facility is required by regulation to abide by established security measures and protocols. And I would go further to say that because we are also looking to establish operations in the United States, we are also having to ensure that we are utilizing measures that meet the requirements of the Transport Security Administration of the United States, Diedrich added. According to Diedrich, when an incident like this happens, in the same way that when 9/11 happened in 2000, it caused the aviation industry, airlines, airports to look at their security measures and to see where, if any, improvements can be made, then I would say with all honesty, in a matter like this, as the operator for that airport, we will use the opportunity to look if there are any ways that we need to take any further improvements to our security system. The Ian Fleming International Airport was upgraded from the Boscobel Aerodrome in January 2011, with a further expansion in March 2018. On June 16 this year, the airport welcomed its first scheduled international flight with the arrival of a 30-seater Inter-Caribbean Airways airplane from Providenciales, Turks and Caicos. 15-year-old student found with ammo at school charged. A 15-year-old boy is scheduled to face the court to answer to the charge of illegal possession of ammunition. The boy was found in possession of the ammunition at the high school he attends in Portmore, St. Catherine on Friday, September 23. Reports from the Portmore police are that about 2:30 p.m., the teen was searched and 2 rounds of ammunition, one 9mm cartridge, and one 5.56mm cartridge were found. The police were summoned and the boy was handed over to them. He was subsequently charged. Court of Appeal overturns a fraud conviction against attorney Michael Lorne. The Court of Appeal has overturned the fraudulent conversion conviction of attorney-at-law Michael Lorne in relation to the sale of property in Eastern Kingston. There was no fraudulent or dishonest misuse of the proceeds of the sale, the court ruled on Friday. I feel vindicated, Lorne, who has always maintained that he was innocent, said yesterday. He was represented on appeal by his son, attorney-at-law Michael Lorne. Lorne, also known as Miguel Lorne, was convicted in October 2020 and ordered to pay a fine of $750,000 or 12 months imprisonment. He was disbarred by the Disciplinary Committee of the General Legal Counsel in June 2017, arising from complaints relating to the allegations for which he was convicted. But the Court of Appeal set aside the disbarment in March 2021 and ruled that he should instead be suspended from practicing for 5 years. The suspension ended in June this year. The JLC is appealing to the United Kingdom-based Privy Council in an effort to have the disbarment restored. Lorne, a Rastafarian, was retained between 2000 and 2005 to probate a will in which the asset was a house for which Olive Blake and her brother Howard Wilson were the beneficiaries. Lorne was instructed to sell the property and the proceeds shared equally between the beneficiaries as stated in the will. The complainant, Olive Blake, said the property was sold in 2011 for $60 million, but she did not receive her share of the proceeds. She made a complaint to the GLC in 2012, alleging that Lorne had failed to account for funds he had for her. Lorne then contacted her by letter, informing her that he sent her portion of the proceeds to her brother, who had retained him, and instructed him to send the proceeds to her. In his defense, Lorne had denied the allegations that he fraudulently converted any of the proceeds. He relied on the statement of account that he had sent to Blake's lawyer, which showed he had made significant expenditures in relation to the probate and the sale of property. The Court of Appeal ruled on Friday that it was agreed with the parish judge that Lorne was dilatory in accounting to the complainant as well as paying over the balance of the net proceeds as per the statement of account. While dilatoriness and the lack of explanation for delay may raise a presumption of fraudulent conversion, as the authorities confirm, that presumption is susceptible to rebuttal by the provision of a satisfactory account from the accused, which we have found in the instant case. As a result, the prima facie evidence of fraudulent conversion was refuted by the satisfactory account the appellant gave about the proceeds entrusted to him, and any spectre of fraudulent conversion of those proceeds have long vanished by the conclusion of the trial, the court ruled. The court found that the prosecution had failed to prove an essential ingredient of the offense of fraudulent conversion, that is, the fraudulent and dishonest misuse of the proceeds realized from the sale of the property by the appellant. In addition, there was also a misapprehension of the applicable law by the learned judge of the parish court, resulting in incorrect findings of fact. The verdict, therefore, is against the weight of the evidence, and the appellant's conviction is unsustainable, the court ruled. The court ordered that the sum of $750,000, which Lorne paid as a fine after he was convicted, must be refunded. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.